I think typing is a difficult thing to do for a lot of people. And for me, especially, it's been a back and forth struggle. And I've tried to figure out why that is. I think I've boiled it down to a couple of things. So I'll get straight to the point. I think there are two major reasons why people might have a difficult time typing themselves. The first reason being their frame of reference isn't large enough for them to get a accurate picture of themselves. What I mean by that is they could be too young to fully know themselves yet. And one way this could be a good thing, and another way this can be a bad thing for typing specifically. In one way, it can be good because you're at your rawest self if you're young enough, if that makes sense. In a way, you're who you are before you've been influenced heavily. On another way, you don't really know what you're doing isn't normal. AKA, if you're super introverted, you wouldn't know that what you're doing isn't exactly extroverted. You may think, hey, I talked to like three whole people today. I'm super extroverted. Like, that feels really extroverted to me, but in all reality, that's just a normal day.
This is Penny and Chip, and say hello to Use Napkin.
But I would venture to guess that extroverts might have a more uh, pleasant time figuring out whether or not they're extroverted or not. They probably can tell because they've been around tons of people, they have tons of friends, and they can tell you that they have a lot of friends who are very introverted, and they know that. The second thing that could be a difficult thing to overcome is your maturity level slash environment, perhaps. And what I mean by that is if you've grown up in an environment that has forced you to mature quicker than perhaps other people, then maybe that's made it tougher for you to realize that that's not how you actually act. That's how you've learned to act. So, once again, with the extroverted introverted thing, if you're struggling with that, maybe you grew up in an environment where you had a large family, people around you all the time, and then you also went to a very large school that forced you to do stuff in front of the class a ton. So you just, and you were forced around people a ton through your environment and you matured in that way. It's not your nature per se, but you've gotten so good at it that it just feels comfortable at this point. Another example of that might be for thinkers and feelers, okay? So we're all thinkers to a certain degree. It's not like everyone is completely illogical and everything they do is because they feel like it and their values line up with it. There's going to be certain things that you want to do that you just do because you like it, but then maybe most of your decisions are completely logical.
And I will serve this great nation at the pleasure of myself. There's one thing I've proven is that you can count on me to pleasure myself.
That can make stuff a little tricky to type yourself as well. Thoughts, emotions, sensing, intuition. I think sensing and intuition become difficult because, for one, they're difficult to understand. Intuition, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around. So if you're new to typing, that becomes a little more difficult. But I think as you figure out typing and what the cognitive functions actually mean, I think intuition and sensing is one of those that I don't have to struggle with that anymore. I totally know that I deal with the abstract. I love to hear facts, and maybe that could be something that trips you up. I love to hear facts, but at the end of the day, I don't care what the facts are. I really care about the deeper meaning behind why the facts are there in the first place, and whether or not there's a reason those facts aren't relevant anyway. Maybe it's difficult because you just don't understand what they mean exactly, or you don't understand the order of operations in which you use those functions. Say you listen to the facts, but it's ultimately to understand the bigger picture of it. Well, then you think that you deal with the facts in the past, in the real world, like the sensing type might, but you really don't care that much about it. You're really after something else. And that something else that you're after is what your type actually points to. That being said, I think it's important for you to be honest with yourself so that you can understand yourself, so that you can be the best version of yourself.
Forgive me. I mistook you for Saruman.
I am Saruman. Rather Saruman as he should have been.
I think that's what finding your type out really is all about anyway. We're all just trying to be the best version of ourselves. And if you're trying to type yourself in a certain category because you like the idea of that category, you're not really using it properly anyway. It's for your benefit. And you're selling yourself short by staying in a type that isn't true to yourself. But on the flip side, bouncing back and forth between types and never choosing a type can also just be a stressful event. And you really just don't have time for all that stress anyway. You need happiness in your life. Am I right? I'd like to say thank you for watching. I'm working currently on an ISTJ friend video. I think I might end up making it into a series. I'm not sure yet where that's going to go. Currently, it's about knowing your friends better. So I'm probably going to label it something like Know Your Friend. So be looking for that. So yeah, if you liked it, leave a like and a comment so I can know what I can do better next time. Subscribe if you enjoy this type of talk, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.